How often would you say that you piss yourself?
Not often.
Welcome to Worst Impressions. I am your host, Eric Anderson, and we've got a very special guest. Some would say he doesn't piss himself very often. And that, and by that alone, I'm proud to have known him. I'm proud to have him in the studio. And I'm so excited to talk to him. It's someone that can do that, day in, day out, holding it in like an adult.
It's not always as easy as you'd think.
No, it's not. No, it is not. Hello, everybody. This is my guest, Ethan Patrick. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, bitches? Happy to be here.
Dude, people are going to be so stoked. Like, I know it's still a fledgling podcast at this time of recording, but like the people that do follow the show, so pumped.
I'm always excited to see which new guest is on.
Yeah. You are a golden fish that I just caught in a lake or, an Animal Crossing or something like that.
Nice.
So, Ethan, you don't piss yourself off, and you say, what have you been up to?
A lot of stuff. Like I said, there are some situations in which it's not the easiest thing in the world to not piss yourself. Some people might be surprised to hear that. It's the truth, actually. I don't know if I should start out this way, but I had a procedure, actually.
No way.
Yeah.
Did I just
It's funny you've mentioned that.
No
actually.
way. Hold on. I didn't know. I don't know nothing about.
No.
Wait. Whoa. What's going down?
Don't listen to him. He asked me questions beforehand. He knew it. No.
What the fuck?
No. So I had I can share information on this,
Sure, if you like. Yeah.
So it's a urethral telescope.
Oh my God.
You ever heard of that?
Are you fucking with me?
No.
Okay.
I heard about it a long time ago when I was like a kid, and I didn't believe it was like a boogeyman. I didn't believe it was real.
Terrible. Because I was like, dude, let's do this cold open where I talk about you taking a piss. All right, it's gonna be really funny, and I'm a comedian. Okay, trust me. God, dude. Good God. All right. You had a serious procedure.
Yeah. I mean, it's relatively, it happens semi-frequently. It's not unheard of.
Sure.
It's not that bad. It wasn't that, it wasn't life-threatening, but
that's good. Thank God.
But they numb the area.
The urethra.
Yeah, with like a syringe.
Okay.
And so afterwards, like the muscles because you might not realize it, but all the time your muscles are like clenching, they're holding in the pee. And afterwards, your muscles are anesthetized. They're relaxed.
Okay.
And so I was walking around and I constantly felt like I was just pissing my pants. They just told me to go check out with the receptionist. I'm sitting there like I really thought I was like pissing my pants the whole time.
I had this question written down among a slew of other garbage. I could have picked anything else. And he was just like, wow, this motherfucker comes in and he invites me into the studio and he wants me to talk about this asshole podcaster.
Jeez Louise.
He's like, I actually had a procedure. Like, my heart just stops. I'm just like, oh my God. Okay, so aside from that, so you're peeing well.
Yeah, no, I'm perfect now. Your procedure was good.
Okay, yeah. That's great. Yeah, that's great to hear. So besides that, well, I ran into you, doing some dirty nerdy stuff. What have you been up to?
Well, it's tough because we spoke briefly about I had a knee injury, I tore my patellar tendon in my right knee. And that was just barely more than a year ago. That was last year on March 26th.
So what have you been doing to your body, man? You've been just tearing it up from urethra down?
Yeah. I do them. That's one thing. I'm a person of extremes. I do the most. And
that
so
we know. We all know this.
I guess. But, so I was in really, really great shape. I was trail running like several days a week. I was working out. I was doing all the ins and outs. I was doing what I thought I was supposed to be doing to be healthy.
Absolutely.
And then just my knee just fucking exploded. Doing nothing.
You were not hiking when you were.
I was doing absolutely. I was just, funnily enough, I was at work, but I wasn't doing any work related activities, unfortunately.
Wait, do you... Does FMLA? Do you need to keep this off the pod?
Oh, I don't know. No. I never claimed anything.
Okay, wow.
I really should have.
Yeah, I was like, well,
they asked me beforehand. They were like, "Do you want to claim this on anything?" And I was like, "Nah." Why the fuck wouldn't I? Dumbass.
Too polite. Too polite, sir. So yeah, back to the being in great shape. You come in here looking like a Greek god. For those of you that haven't seen Ethan in a while, hot as hell. I mean, I'm about to put you on this couch. It's like, you want to be famous?
That's what that couch is for.
Grab a stuffed animal, brother. Yeah. So you've always been pretty thin, pretty fit. Were you a runner always?
I played soccer.
Yeah, that's right. You were soccer.
So I did run a lot, and I've just always been a very active person.
Yeah.
I grew up in the summers. I'd spend the summers in North Carolina, and I didn't have anything to do there but hike around the mountains and, do a bunch of crazy shit outside. And
that's badass.
Yeah. And so I just always have been an active person, and that just, I guess, like escalated to the point where
What's interesting is that I definitely saw, I was like, oh yeah. Like he runs, but he's also, in like my opinion, that funny guy that I knew of, that like guy that is funny. Did you ever think of yourself as that, in that way, that you were the like funny guy, or did you not like that?
I think it's a strange experience for me because in my head, I'm always like, I think everything is so fucking funny, like in my head. And I guess I just never like took things like super seriously.
Sure.
Especially, because of, my upbringing in a way. Authority was never like an iron like hand to me, and so I kind of got a lot of joy out of like poking and prodding. Yeah. As the status quo, I guess you would say.
Absolutely.
I don't know, and I've always just been, that might be something I got from my family as well. They'll talk to anybody, and I'll just talk to anybody. And when you just talk to anyone all the time, you gotta have something to say, you know. And so
you have this interesting look in your eye from years ago, I was like, damn, you can you can lock into somebody like with this, because it has to do with your eyelashes. And has anybody ever talked about your eyelashes?
Oh my
before?
gosh, yeah.
So your eyelashes, the way you like kind of look at somebody, it looks like you're like flirting with them, but it's so sweet and cuddly and genuine, but it's just like, I was like, wait, what the fuck is this guy doing? I was like, this guy, there's nothing. What the hell is this guy doing? Like,
I was thinking about that today, actually. I was like, am I too suggestive in conversation?
I don't think you're too suggestive. No, I think people get really brought in with the eyes. And then and back in the day was the hair.
Mm-hmm,
the hair was iconic.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you owe the creators of Napoleon Dynamite for use of for use of likeness?
Well, you know, like,
or did you even like that? That like, I feel like people were just like, oh yeah, Napoleon Dynamite kid.
Well, yeah, that was an interesting time, because I feel like, you know, so much has changed since then. But back then, I don't feel like there were a lot of like curly hairstyles. Like the last thing I can remember was like hair metal in like the 70s or 80s or whatever.
True,
which was terrible.
Right.
And besides that, a lot of people approached me all the time, and they were like, you know, I have hair just like yours, and that's why I keep it cut short, so it doesn't look like your hair.
Oh my God. Like talking, like it's like, get it cut, hide with me. We're hidden amongst everyone.
Which is interesting. Like, I don't know if people necessarily grasp how to style it back then, you know?
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
Like it was just, you know, and then Hollywood had a problem, like, because it was Napoleon Dynamite, it was you know, Jonah Hill in Superbad, and so it's just like, oh, funny people have that hair, and then they were not styling it correctly, and like they weren't doing it justice, especially for just like younger white guys. But so yeah, I always wondered. I was like, does he like being that guy, or people just forcing that on him? I don't know.
And it's really funny because like that was just my hair, and you know, I got a lot of attention for it, but like I didn't have a choice in it. Like I didn't choose this.
Like I didn't choose this life. It was thrust upon me. That being said, I mean, I would have killed to have your hair. Like I was like, this guy's getting so much attention. I fucking quit. I quit. I don't like, because me is just a ham. I wanted everybody to pay attention to me. And I was like, this guy is just walking around and everybody gives a fuck. What?
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
And I feel like at any point, anybody would have, like in high school, anytime in school, they would have crowned you as just like, he's the funniest guy ever, and you don't even have to say anything.
Yeah,
it was just like, this guy. But to be fair, when you do say stuff, it is funny.
Yeah, and like you to your earlier point, like I've never have thought of myself that way, and I still don't. You know, I don't consider myself, because
that's very interesting,
because I'm around to me like a lot of the funniest people on the planet Earth. Like, you know, my job, I used to work, I would go and I would write down the jokes they told me, because I thought they were so fucking funny. But I've always, you know, I've been into stand up for a while, like I enjoy it, but I can't remember jokes for the life of me, and I can't execute them. And so, but I think the people around me are just the funniest people on the planet Earth.
And I think that's part of it. It's like it's the allure of everybody being funny. Like I think all those people gravitate towards each other and make little pods of funny, and everybody thinks everybody's funnier than the other person, but really, like, you know, there's something brewing in that group, and there's something to that. Because I feel like if you wanted to, because you might not want to, I feel like if you wanted to, you could execute it, even though you said you could, even though you said that you might not. I feel like you could. I think you could give us a good $5 5 minutes.
Well, and you know, the funniest part maybe is that I actually consider my internal picture of myself as actually very severe and dour.
Really?
Like I consider myself
that's
to be
extremely interesting.
a very serious, a very intense, harsh person.
That's really, I mean, so yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. Not that I'm saying that I'm saying that you present yourself in that way. It's just because, and I'm not saying that I'm funny. I'm not funny, guys. I don't give a fuck. I see it in the comments. But yeah, I think there's just been years on and off where I'm just like, I'm not, it's like, I know, I think things are funny, but I'm not funny, or like, yeah. And then how I perceive real life is very pessimistic or down on everything. And then because I'll get some stuff like backwards, like, oh, when I listen to the podcast, it's like just like a different person. I was like, I hope to God it is, because you wouldn't like me off the show. But that is very interesting to hear that. So you said dour. What was dour? Because I'm an idiot.
I don't know. It's that sounded nice.
It's a Pokemon's name. I don't know. Hound.
I guess like you said, like pessimistic, gloomy, downcast maybe.
So what do you? So does the trail running does that bring you joy?
Yeah, like I said, I grew up. Every summer, in between semester seasons, whatever.
Sure.
I would go, and my grandmother had a house there that she was fixing up that she bought from her parents. And we barely had running water, barely had electricity, didn't have TV or radio or internet or anything.
Oh my God.
And so I would get, like once a week or every other week, we'd get to go to the library and I'd get books and I could read those. And then other than that, I could help with yard work, or I could just, it's very rural up in the mountains. And so there's nothing around us and I could just go running around the mountains for.
I'm not good at geography, but is that like Appalachia?
Yes.
Kind of thing. Okay. Were you guys making moonshine?
The Blue Ridge. My uncle did. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I think his partner, we were close enough to the Tennessee border. I think it was like technically legal to brew in Tennessee. And so they had a distillery right across the border, and then they would bring it back across to the North Carolina side and sell it.
Wow.
Which that's a joke if anybody's listening to this.
Exactly. Okay. Something about this show that everybody needs to remember is that I'm a fucking genius and I pre-script these things down to every joke, every period, punchline. I've got a script in front of him ready to go. And he just reads it. He's never been to Tennessee. He's never even been to the Carolinas, nothing. He just reads this script that I provide for him, and it's all on me. Everything. So feel free to tell me whatever. But that's all alleged.
Yes, yeah.
That's insane. Do you like moonshine?
I've had some moonshine that I like. I've had some moonshine that was I actually had a mutual acquaintance who used to make moonshine in his closet.
Oh my God.
Before we were legally of age to purchase alcohol.
He's just making poison. Yeah. He was like, oh yeah, I just mixed some rat poison and bleach and we got ourselves a party. Oh my God.
It hit like a truck though, so you didn't need to tolerate it for very long.
He was like, you woke up in the hospital every time. It was awesome. So you spent the summers there trail running. But does that bring you joy? Yeah,
absolutely. And it's how I relax and how I find peace, and they say that spending time in nature, and I'm very, in case you couldn't tell, I'm very vitamin D deficient, like all the time. I had to, for a while, I was on like a prescription dose of vitamin D to like bring my levels back up to. Wow. And so I try to spend time outside. I don't know how much good it does.
Because your skin complexion is part of the charm. I don't know. It's just it's a certain character. Like you're a character.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But like, again, can't stress you. Handsome as hell walking through here. I mean,
very kind.
Are you?
Very
this
generous.
might be single dating.
Yeah, I'm dating currently.
Dating.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, wonderful girlfriend.
Wow.
Cute dog, puppy.
Interesting.
7 months old. Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome, bro. Awesome. Do they? So how long has it been since the knee thing? So are you trail running again?
Oh God, no.
You have to take a break on that.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's been about 12 months and 2 weeks probably. And they told me a bunch of different stuff initially, but ultimately they told me 9 to 12 months recovery because I didn't have surgery to correct it.
Right.
Like I said, I'm right past 12 months and I can live a decent, like a normal life, but definitely not to my previous. Yeah.
Interesting. What about like water stuff? Can you you're gonna get into water stuff after that?
I learned to swim.
Yeah.
4 months ago.
Whoa! Like you never swam.
Yeah, no, I took a few lessons when I was a kid, but
that's interesting.
it just never clicked. And I quit on it, and then I tried it again, and anyway, I guess I'm passable now. I don't know.
Right, passable. It's like they don't have to save me anymore.
It's exhausting. Swimming is exhausting. It's hard.
Your full body.
It is hard. I don't know how people do it.
Because I was thinking, if you just want to use your upper body, you could do kayaking.
I love kayaking.
Okay, yeah.
We'll go to one thing I love to do is go to the Brazos side of Cameron Park or like the Bosque side.
Yeah.
And they have a boat ramp there, and we go get a kayak there, and we'll paddle up to Slow Rise Pizza.
Oh, sick!
We'll have a couple slices of pizza and a beer.
Couple of slices of pizza.
Yeah, amen. And then paddle back. It's a great half day.
That's sick. Yeah, I'll just drive to get my pizza, or I'll just have them bring it to me.
Yeah, bold to drive. Yeah.
Okay. So brass taxes. Let's do the title of the show. Do you have a story of a bad first impression? It can be of a person. It can be of a place. It can be a subject in school. A product that was just bad when you first tried it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought of a few, but I have one that I think might resonate with you because I know you like movies. I think, right? You
love them.
You like Marvel movies and
love
stuff.
them.
Okay, so
still do. Yeah.
July 18th, 2008, The Dark Knight came out. Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight.
Yep.
And so for whatever reason, up to that point in my life, I was fairly young.
You were like 45.
Yeah. And I'd never been interested in superheroes. It just wasn't a thing. I had Pokemon and like shit like that. But,
absolutely. Yeah.
But for whatever reason, my family decided I should be really into Batman that year. And so they got me like all the old, like the George Clooney Batman.
The nips out. Nips out for
whatever.
Clooney.
And then they got me all, I think it was like 4 of the early Batman movies in The Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I wasn't interested. So
that's crazy for a 45-year-old to not know anything about Batman is insane.
And then so I took them home and I sat on them for a while and I kind of scored them. And then I thought, okay, let me try them in chronological order, like the order they came out or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I can't remember I got up to like the Mr. Freeze, the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
I just hated it.
I
just hated all of. They were so goofy. I didn't understand. Like it didn't make any sense to me why grown people were running around and
like I was like, who the fuck? Like who likes this? This is insane. This is just zany, goofy nips out for Clooney.
And so I just swore it off, and I just was totally uninterested from that day forward. And fast forward like 5 years. It was now 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw those movies sitting around and I was really bored, and I'd been through all my other movies, and the Dark Knight looked pretty, looked pretty cool on the cover.
Yeah. He's like he's like flying down. He's full batted out. I believe that's
no,
that's Begins.
Yeah.
He's on the bike.
Yes.
in Dark Knight.
It's super cool. But anyway, I started it and I probably watched it like 20 times that month because I loved it so much.
Really?
That movie that was one of my favorite movies, probably of all time. Blew my mind.
I think if you said that was your favorite movie of all time, I think it's fair. Like it's totally fair to say that movie. It definitely changed a bunch of people's opinions on superheroes, on movies in general. Like there's been a lot of copycats. Like it's crazy transcendent. And then of course Heath Ledger's Joker is
wow,
crazy.
Yeah, that opening scene with the I don't know what the instrument they use to like I think they're like grinding like a cello string or something.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
The bank heist. Oh man, that was what a phenomenal movie. And I watched that movie probably more than 100 times over the next however many years.
So you would literally have like before that you would have wiped your ass with anything Batman.
Oh god, yeah.
Twice.
Oh, yeah.
It's like how to flush this.
And now I can kind of appreciate the older ones. I don't love them, but then I think the year I watched that The Dark Knight Rises came out. I saw that for my birthday in like a big IMAX dome, and that was sick.
For your 47th birthday.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. That's a pretty wild time. Dude, it so sucks that Heath Ledger died. Rest in peace. But the Joker thing. Did you ever do the Joker voice? No,
I might have tried it. But one thing I admire about you is I feel like you have like a certain like creative temerity, like a tenacity to continue to pursue. And that's something I can't. If I fail at an impression once, I just fucking. I
love failing. Love failing. I love when somebody's just like, that was shit. Thank you. And I think that was part of. And I think first of all, thank you for the compliment. I think that's why I wanted the title of the show to be like negging myself. It's just like, it's not the best. It is the worst. But yeah, I think you have this thing. It's not your brand of comedy or your brand of just like you. It is so in the moment. If you don't catch it, you don't catch it. Like, and I think when more and more people just started like locking onto you, just like, oh, Ethan's in the room. Like, watch what he's about to do. That's kind of what it is. It's just like, don't miss what he's doing at all times. And then it gets to the point where just like, I'm just eating. I'm just eating my sandwich. I'm not doing any bits, nothing. Like, I'm just existing, and they just think it's hilarious.
Yeah, you made a comment on a previous episode I listened to about like telling like a funny guy, hey, do something funny.
Oh yeah, dude.
Do something funny right now.
Probably the most brutal thing you can do to a comedian outside of like calling them a hack is just like, funny guy. Tell me something funny. It's like, and you're just like, no. It's like, I'm actually going to the hospital. So,
I wanted to ask you, have you ever had that like happen? And if you did you like actually try to, or did you say like, fuck off? Because everyone's had that happen at some point.
So if someone has ever said, hey, he's the funny guy, I probably would have just like sucked their dick right there. I don't think anybody's ever said, hey, there's that funny guy. I think people are like, this guy tries to be funny. Don't talk to him. So that's how that goes.
Which for the record, I don't think is true at all. I think you're hilarious.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'd probably have that written down in a journal. It's like, today somebody asked me to be funny. No, I think it happened like, so when you're in like theater and stuff, and you've done theater. I think you're band and you're very musical. In theater, you do get a little bit of that where it's like, okay, well, like, build a scene. In those moments, it's a little easier because the person asking you to do it knows what you got to do to build the scene and make that funny. The tough ones are the water cooler be funnies, just like somebody standing around is like, hey, is like, this is the funny guy, be funny. That's the worst. Like, that is tough because they probably just want you to say like a dick joke or just like something crass. But if you try to like, oh, well, the thing about the 2008 housing bubble is like, it's just not gonna no. So yeah, that's brutal stuff. But theater, someone saying, okay, build me a funny scene, that's more acceptable. I totally will just like improv, like just go. You just don't think, just go.
And that's like that creative. And I guess you're in like a setting that's creative, and so that's when your process can really shine.
Yes. And I saw that with you, because did we ever overlap in a show together or not?
Yeah, there were a few
at China Spring.
We did a UIL player or so.
Oh yes.
I don't remember when you started. Did you go to, like, your whole school career was at China Spring? Or?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if you had.
I know.
At some point.
I was just that, people really tried to just put a curtain around me, just like, don't look at this guy. don't look at him.
But they couldn't keep you hidden forever.
I was just like,
man.
I'm right here. Hello. I've got two hands and I like to shake them. Yeah, no, there was no stopping me.
Yeah, I remember you were very serious in the UIL, at least. You took that very seriously.
Very cringefully serious. Like, I was like, there could be talent scouts out here. My career is on the line. Yeah. Any fuck ups, I'll look them all in the eye, like the whole rest of the cast. Any fuck ups tonight, you're dead to me. Like psycho shit. So yeah, I'm glad I took a break. Like, just like I was like, I got to detox for a few years. Like that was after college, and in college I still did college shows, and I loved doing that. But yeah, definitely took myself too seriously at some points. My God. Oh my God. But now I'm glad I kind of just like washed, just took a few showers. Took a few showers since then, and then now I can kind of laugh at it all.
Get that perspective of time is very important. Yeah.
I think that was probably my biggest weakness, was just taking myself too seriously, because then you're not funny at all. People that take themselves too seriously is not funny at all. But yeah. So yeah, we overlapped a little in theater. Yeah, and you probably I can imagine you were just like, this guy's probably an asshole. This guy's a fucking asshole.
Well, and I was probably in turn guilty of not taking myself seriously enough. But
that's what was beautiful about you. That's why, I mean, and that, like I just didn't have that. I was just like, oh man, every moment matters. No, it does not. Some moments never matter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, do you have any what is your now, this might be loaded, but you don't have to answer. What is your dream? Like, what is the ideal scenario in the next 30 years for it to happen, as long as the world doesn't end?
Oh yeah. The world ending.
Yeah. Like, what would be the ideal Ethan?
Oh man, that's a tough one, because a little bit of backstory, if I may. You may. Absolutely. Several years ago, I had a very close, a very important family member of mine go through a medical procedure that did not end well.
Oh my gosh.
And they were seriously permanently disabled as a result.
Yeah.
And I was one of their primary sources of assistance for like 5 years.
Wow.
And still, I'd still, help and everything, but
that's amazing.
But it really hurt, because they had been disabled, and it wasn't fair, obviously, and it sucked, and there was a whole legal thing, and I won't talk about that.
Sure.
It really hurt me the most to see how it affected them.
Yeah.
And how, for X many years of their life, they were obsessed with this thing, and everything went back to this thing, and it just became who they were. And I just wanted my relative back. I just wanted the person I loved back, because I didn't see them as somebody who was disabled.
No, yeah.
I understand how seriously it hurt them, but it really, really hurt me to see them throw away who I felt like they were
Right.
in favor of like obsessing over this. But anyways, you know, I started coming to see a lot of things in that lens, you know, of people who are not able to like let go of circumstances or things and let it kind of negatively impact their lives for a long period of time.
Right.
And so I told myself, ironically, November 2022, I said, New Year 2023, I'm going to learn how to let go of things that have been bothering me.
Oh, wow.
And then
Okay.
4 or 5 months later, I tear my patellar tendon and fucking ruins my life. Fucking robs me of everything I ever loved.
God was just like, let go of this.
Yeah, let's put this shit to the test. But it put in perspective a lot of things that I held on to, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, I used to have an idea of like the perfect life of what I wanted it to be like,
Sure.
you know? But there's kind of an astute observation you had a minute ago, which is that I guess my life is very much in the moment.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but there's just something about my particular brain and my particular personality that's very, I've never really have latched on to like, because something's going to come, you know?
Sure.
Something will like, I never remember something that's funny because something else funny will happen.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's why I can't remember jokes because we'll find a different joke.
And that's your brand, and I want you to know that it works. But yeah, go on. Yeah.
But and so the dream, you know, has been a process of discovering like what can we make out of the life that we have, you know. And so
It's beautiful.
And so now my dream has kind of become, I told this to somebody once, and then the next day they came back to me and they said, "You okay? Do we need to contact, do you need any help resources?" And I was like, God, no, I didn't think of it. But I said, you know, I just wanted to learn how to be happy and to be able to be present. And that's my dream, you know, is to be not just for myself, but for other people who are maybe attached to something
right.
that they don't need to be, is to just be like a how do you say, like a generative source of just life.
Oh,
you know?
right. That is very difficult, but yes, I mean, I applaud that. That's what you want to be, because that's a lot of work, you know, like,
oh God, yeah.
You know, like, to be that source for other people means, you know, one, you're putting them before you, and then you are creating an energy that's not there. Like, you're defying physics. You're just creating something that doesn't exist. You're making it and passing it on, that energy. And, that's cool, man. That's crazy.
but the dream, it used to be, and it still kind of is. I got a degree in construction science because I want to build my own home. I want to be able to build homes for people that I know and that I love, and to help them fix things. And
really,
yeah, just to be
do you do
relatively independent.
Do you do any like have you thought about doing like little like side contract work, like little like freelance things?
Yeah, I've done quite a bit of that. And I kind of grew up, my family, like I said, my grandmother's remodeling her old house in North Carolina.
Right.
I helped with that a lot growing up, and my family does a lot of that stuff.
Would you say you're like a modern day handyman, but like better?
Well, yeah, I don't know about better, but
I mean, hey, I don't know.
I definitely try to learn useful skills. I want to be able to help people, you know. And
I would love to call you for some things.
Absolutely,
like, dude, I will definitely hire you for things.
Just disclaimer: not electricity. I don't fuck with electricity.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, you don't want
you can fuck some things up with electricity.
You don't want another urethral telescope, my guy. Like, Jesus Christ, like, my urethra looks like Pikachu's cheeks. Like, but that's so like I can't wait for people to hear you talk about it, and because they're gonna talk about this, and they're gonna be like, what? They're gonna be like Ethan Patrick, what? Like, he's like the guy with the hair. It's like he was the funniest. Like, I truly think, and I know this is now for people that are not from this area where I do the show and from my high school, but like this, this doesn't mean a whole lot, but for me, it was just like this guy who is a grade below me is like that probably one of the funniest guys ever.
That's insane.
And you just like, you weren't thinking like, I don't know, it did feel like you were just like, I didn't ask for this at all. But yeah, truly jealous.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Very kind.
I told Mitchell, I was like, Mitchell, guess who I got on tomorrow? And he was like, no fucking way. He's like, he's the funniest. And I was like, well, fuck you, but thank you. I know he is. And he's just like, we were talking about how fully jealous we were of just how effortless, because people just laugh with you, laugh at you, whatever, you're just in the moment. So, let's do some housekeeping here. Do you have an impression of a character, of an actor, of a customer, like of a person out in the wild that you like to do? I know you said you didn't like to do the Joker, but like, like that.
I did think of, I didn't think I had, but there's one that I love to do.
Okay.
But, the problem is that it's mostly maybe a little more than half of a physical impression.
Sure.
Of my grandmother. Okay. Because she's legendary in my family she's 89. I think she just turned 89. Yeah. And, she cooks for all the like Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Oh, she's one of those grandmothers?
Easter. Oh yeah.
Man.
She cooks everything by herself. It's crazy. She takes like 2 or 3 days to do it.
That's awesome.
But she's legendary because she really wants to fix everyone's plates for them. And it just is excruciating watching her fill your plate. And so, you're waiting in a line, right? Yeah. And there's all the things laid out on the stove and like the stuffing and the turkey and and first you have to watch her cut the turkey with her like old lady hands, and she gets caught on all the bones and right. And then she'll gather, like she'll stir up the green beans while you're sitting there watching, and she'll get like a little half scoop, and and then she'll ask you, is that enough? Do you want more? You want more? And I'm like, Grandma, you've known me for 28 fucking years, 45 fucking years.
Yeah, 47 plus at this point. It's like 47 plus or minus the Dark Knight, round down. I don't know.
and never one time have I ever wanted you to stop scooping at 3 fucking scoops.
Like, just give me the tray. It's the best.
But I also do like I do a verbal impression of her, which is separate from like the food. Yeah. Because I stop by and I have dinner with her a lot and all these things, and
beautiful.
Sometimes my whole family kind of stores things at our house because there's just storage space there in the garage. Sure. And so I'll stop in to like grab something, and I do that semi frequently. And I'm always on a schedule. I always have like something I'm doing. And I'll walk in and, I don't know how your older relatives are, but she wants to talk for like 7 hours.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as she sees you.
Yeah.
And I'll just walk right past her and, I was like, yeah. And she'll follow me and, I'll pick up a book and she'll say, in 1973, I had a book just like that. Oh. And I lent it to our neighbor. And did you know that they used to steal my National Geographics out of my mailbox because they knew somebody at the post office, one of their relatives worked there, and they would get their National Geographics, and I just walk away, and then she would just follow me and just staring at me the whole time. And
that's great.
So that's the only sort of impression I kind of know.
That's beautiful.
Because like I said, I just give up on holding them before. But
that's amazing. That's a really good sentiment to share.
She will just talk forever, man. It's just fucking insane.
I'll have to get her on the podcast.
Oh god.
It's like, give an impression of your grandson.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's kind of where she'll talk to anybody about anything, anytime, anywhere. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So we can kind of wrap this up. Do you have anything left to share with the listeners? Any message you want to get out? Any final pieces of wisdom? He's looking beautiful, by the way. He's like, again, hot as hell.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that, especially since this is you don't have any video.
We actually, I don't have an exact date, but it's so soon. It's crazy. When we will have the video element.
Nice.
And I would love for you to come back.
Yeah. Oh, I would love. Yeah. It's really fun. I love this whole experience. The room is awesome. The vibe.
You. I'm like, every time I invite somebody new, I'm just like, I just got to make sure they have fun. So that way they want to come back. Cause I want everybody to come back. And, I was just like, you can come at any time. You can come like all the time. It's great. So
one thing, have you ever done like a podcast with like 2 guests?
No.
Time, or have you thought about that?
That is something that will happen as I grow. I've really, really focused on the quality of of how the mics are set up and whatever. I could totally do a situation where I like have 2 people share that mic that on that side. That shouldn't be a problem. I don't think I'd probably love to do a test run of that, but no, I haven't done that officially with 2 people on the other side of the table.
Especially with this, it could get out of hand really fast.
Sure. Also that, yeah, no, because it is a lot of voices, and because there'd be 3 and 2 on one wave, like on my multi-track, it'd be hard to isolate the 2 voices, and that gets a little. Because I really am focused on like the quality, and because when a random person clicks on it, I want it to be like, oh, this is like a professional sounding show at least, So I really try to focus on that. But I would love to try like me on one side, 2 on the other, maybe share the mic. Because right now I would have to expand my setup quite a bit to get the 3rd mic going, or even 4. But yeah, all that down the line, love to expand it. That's why we need people to follow Worst Impressions.
Yeah, follow this motherfucker.
Follow Worst Impressions on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, wherever you get the podcast. You can listen to it on YouTube. We will get a video element going. Please follow or join the Patreon. We got 2 levels to the Patreon. Worst Impressions with Eric Anderson on Patreon. Should be a link in the show notes. But yeah, anything else you want to shout? You want to shout out anything? Any like Instagram accounts? TikTok
I want to say to anybody who any young people who might listen to this, don't read.
What?
You can really fuck up your brain reading. So let me tell you something, man. That is the one thing, the piece of wisdom. But anyway, I can maybe, if I come on again, I can share my story about why you shouldn't read as a young person. It can be really bad. Just live your fucking life. Don't fucking get involved in all that business. But no, thank you so much for having me on, man. You're really in your element here. This is a really awesome thing you're doing, and I really enjoyed it. So thank you.
Awesome, dude. Thank you so much for coming. This was really an all-time episode. People are going to flip out when they see your name on the thing. I mean, like, look at what I got on here. Okay. So that is Worst Impressions with Eric Anderson that I'm signing off. Don't forget to spay and neuter your pets. And bye-bye.
Badass.
Good night.